Are you looking for a podcast about getting elbow deep in a pumpkin?
Well, then you must be thinking of another podcast.
Good evening, Kelsey.
Good evening, Robert.
How are you today?
I'm exhausted.
Oh, man. Why?
You ever like, have a chore, and then you are like, it's not going to be that bad, and then you get in the chore, and you just...
Every chore.
I cleaned out my garage today. Or I
Okay.
started to clean out my garage today, and there's just, like, big, heavy shit in there that I don't want. Like, just construction debris from when we, like, remodeled a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just need to get rid of it.
I was going to say, what, like a lathe?
No, the lathe has been donated.
Okay.
Yes, someone is using the lathe who is happy with
Good.
it, and it is not
Good.
me. No, so I had like these like just pieces of counter and drywall and just random boards and studs and shit. So I'm like, I have to get rid of all this. And the garbage man comes around every second and fourth Monday or whatever to pick up my stuff, like bulk stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to get the bulk stuff out, and I was
I was
rushing.
gonna say, you know it's like a little early for spring cleaning, right?
It's a little late for spring cleaning. It's the opposite of spring cleaning. It is autumn. I'm trying to think of a little alliteration. Autumn, I don't need it.
There you go.
Autumn, all of it, get away.
This is the autumn, all of it, abomination.
Awakening.
There you go.
Okay.
Did I ever tell you about the type of cabinet that I want?
No, tell me about the type of cabinet you want. I'm going to tell you about the type of cabinet that I want.
Okay. So mine, I want a nice cabinet.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
It's a rock joke.
What?
No, like, I want a nice cabinet. Nice is Gneis. It's a type of
What's
rock.
the matter with you? Okay.
Because I like geology. I wish I'd have stuck with that shit, man.
Okay.
But one of the biggest jokes that you ever hear from a geology professor was always like, you see this rock? That's a nice rock.
Oh my
It's like,
God.
yeah, I know, we get it. And now I'm like, I want a nice cabinet.
Very funny.
Like, look at this material. You can't tell me that a cabinet made out of this would not look amazing. I've actually looked it up, and it's a bit cheaper than some other stuff.
That's pretty
but
nice.
It's a pretty rock. It is my official favorite rock. I love it. I think it's so pretty.
Favorite rock. There it
It's a
is,
nice
ladies and
rock.
gentlemen. You've been waiting for it for 85 episodes. Robert's favorite rock. It's here, finally.
Nice!
Nice.
Why? What kind of cabinet do you want?
I want those smooth cabinets. You know, like, they're just like slate gray looking cabinets or just white, and you like push them and they open. There's no
yeah,
handles
okay.
on them. It's just flat. Everything is flat and wonderful.
Yeah.
I want that like modern Scandinavian IKEA design. I fucking love IKEA. I unabashedly love IKEA. It's so
Really?
It's so pretty. I don't get why. I just like I go to an IKEA and I'm like, I'm home. This is me. I live here now. Yeah. So there's just like so much shit in my garage, and I got a bug up my butt, and I was like, I'm gonna get it out of there. And so
Well, you should.
we had this busted ping pong table, and
Okay.
it's been broken for a couple of years now, and I keep thinking, like, I could fix it. It's easy to fix. It's just a couple of screws. And then I, like, got into it, and I was like, this is unfixable. It's completely busted and broken here at the bottom. So I was going to drag it to the curb today, and I backed my truck out of my garage, because this thing just sits in the side of my garage, and
Okay.
I'm wheeling this motherfucker out. And as I'm wheeling it, the bottom starts to, like, there's a little metal truss there that
Yeah.
has just like rusted away.
Okay.
And so as I'm wheeling it, this thing breaks in half, and I kind of like lose control of it a little bit. And it's a heavy ping pong table, and I'm screaming because I'm like, trying to like hold it and keep it upright, because it's, you know, it's upright at this point. You know how ping pong tables, like the half of them, they fold up like a big butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So It's like coming apart at the seams, and I'm trying to keep it together and trying to roll it, and it's very heavy. And then like I back up and hit my truck with my body.
Oh, okay.
The ping pong table falls on top of me.
Oh no!
So I'm like pinned between the ping pong table and my truck, just like ah, ah, ah. My neighbors are probably hearing me make the ugliest noise I've ever made in my life, just yelling, "Fuck no, no, not like this!" I thought I was gonna go out.
Oh man!
Thought I was gonna be trapped there forever, but
But the truck's okay.
with the truck, I mean, she's got a ding in her now, but
Oh, okay.
because I did hit it with the ping pong table, but I am okay, and the truck is mostly okay, and the ping pong table is no longer okay, but it is in the back of a garbage truck, and it's no longer my problem. So hooray!
Woo. Hooray!
I did cut my hand really bad though.
Oh no!
I know. It hurts.
And it's rusty. You got to get tetanus.
No, I didn't cut it on a rusty part. I cut it on the wood.
Okay, cool. Oh, ooh, no.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Even worse. Yeah, I don't like that.
A piece of my hand is gone, so bandage that shit up, and that has been my afternoon.
Well, I'm glad that you are alive.
I'm so tired. Like
You're
you're
here to share with us.
like after you do a chore and you just sit down, you're like, it wasn't that bad, and then you realize like I'm so out of breath. I feel like I might pass out.
No, yeah, like you feel pumped because you just did it, like you got it done,
Yes.
and then like as soon as you go like I'm gonna get a drink, and like you're like, why can't I lift this glass?
Yes.
It's really heavy.
Who put lead in this cup?
You're just like, man, maybe I'm dying and I didn't know until
Yeah,
now.
that's-
Yeah, it takes like 30 minutes for that death to set in, you know?
Yeah, I'm about at that point.
Oh, man. Well, I felt like death the other day.
Why?
Taylor has been, if you tuned into the stream, I'm watching just a bunch of water scary shit,
Yes, for some reason.
you know? And so, we watched Poseidon,
The
which
new
is the
one.
new, from like 2006 or something. I mean, just flat out spoiler. Somebody drowns in it, and I think they just really murdered the man.
Yeah.
It's so real. It's
So-
so real.
We were talking about this before the show, and I was like, it can't be that bad. And I looked up a YouTube video of it, and I feel a little sick after watching it. Like
It's
the most.
so bad.
I feel like I have inhaled water. Like my stomach feels full watching that.
Yeah, I
It's not
mean,
good.
I saw it in theaters in 2006 and repressed those memories and feelings,
Yeah.
and I've successfully done it again since viewing this like 2 days ago, and I feel better now.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to watch a man fucking die, Google Kurt Russell drowning in Poseidon.
Yeah, it's.
There's
I
a-
just, you know what? Just go watch it if you're
Yeah.
so inclined.
We'll link it in the show notes. It's a 57-second YouTube clip, and it's horrifying, and I just want everyone to experience it.
You know what? That reminds me of when I saw Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, yeah?
I think that movie came out in 1999.
Sounds about right. That's when Armageddon came out too, right?
Yes, 1999. Yes.
Yeah.
I was 9 years old.
Yep.
Samuel L. Jackson gets eaten by that shark and ripped in half, and I was like, Mom, is he not going to be able to make movies no more? I thought he was eaten, man.
Isn't that funny? Kids just like, when they watch movies, they're like, wow, they filmed someone dying. Because, like, I remember as a kid, I would watch movies and be like, confused when the kids would grow up and they would get a different actor to play the kid, you know? I'd be like, man,
Oh,
they
yeah.
filmed this movie for like 25 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was feeling a little bleh the other day.
Okay.
Ooh, I started playing a game.
What'd you play?
So, remember how I told you I was gonna do, like, the whole, like, Quantic Dream trilogy? Go
Yes.
Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, Detroit.
Yeah.
Right. Weren't we gonna try to play Detroit at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
But we started Beyond Two Souls.
Okay.
That's kind of a spooky game.
Really?
I'm surprised.
Is it supposed to be spooky?
I didn't think it was supposed to be that spooky. Like, okay, I know that Ellen Page has a spirit attached to her that can, like, move around and do stuff, right?
Okay.
But, like, there's other demon things that, like, try to kill her all the
Ooh.
time.
Shit.
I was like, is that what this game's about? I didn't know that.
I
There are
have
some
no,
like heart-pounding moments in it. It's pretty good.
I've got no concept of what this game is about. I just know that it's got Ellen Page, and I thought it was just like Ellen Page with gun, but it's billed as a unique psychological action, unique psychological action thriller.
Yeah,
it's got
it's
Willem
weird.
Dafoe in it.
Oh, I mean, he's so far the best part. But I will say, there's a moment that like he goes to hug Ellen Page,
Yeah.
and it shows, you know, like his face in the hug, and then it like pans around to her face in the hug, right?
Uh-huh.
Her character model is like 50 times more detailed than his, because it was just like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 4. I was like, ooh, he looked bad in that scene. That's not good.
I kind of want to play this.
It's really weird. Everybody hated it when it came out, and I think it's just because it bounces back and forth between where you are.
Oh.
So the game opens. We've been playing it for about 7-8 hours,
Yeah.
roughly. The thing that happened at the beginning is so far the latest thing in the timeline that we've seen.
Oh, okay.
And we've played stuff going back to like when she was like a super kid to the middle, and it keeps bouncing back and forth, right?
Yeah.
I kind of dig it. At least on the PlayStation 4 version, there's an option to play it in chronological order.
Oh, weird.
But I think if you did, it would spoil some of the surprises, because some of the real spooky shit happens in some of the earlier moments, but later, you know, you're left wondering about things, you know?
Okay.
So I think they put it in that weird order to kind of string along the suspense, you know?
Yeah.
Because you kind of find out what's going on in one of the earlier memories, like pretty early on. And then you would have been tipped off as to where it's going, you know?
I like it when games or any media does that, really. When, like, movies and TV, they show you, like, a thing that's happening, and then you go back in time, you're like, how did we get to that?
That's how I felt in Breaking Bad with the gun in the trunk.
Yes, yes.
I was like, what? How do we get to the gun in the trunk?
Show me the gun in the trunk!
You know? Like, I dig that stuff, too.
Yeah, it's a good storytelling mechanic.
One of my favorites is, it's called In Medias Res,
Okay.
where you start in the middle of the story.
Yeah.
And the most effective one for me was Uncharted 2. Like, it opens right in the middle, and then you play the game coming up to that point, and then you finish it later.
I like that.
I loved it. That was the coolest thing to me. We'll play Detroit together, but if you have Beyond Two Souls, if Richard ever got it for free with PlayStation Plus, you guys might want to take a peek at it.
Yeah, this looks interesting to me, so yeah, I'd like to check it out.
Like, it's a bit more adult. There's, so the spirit that's attached to her, you can, like, go into him, and he can, like, move papers for you and do all kinds of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Well, at some points, he can, like, force choke people,
Oh,
or you can actually possess people.
nice.
And I possess this guy. I mean, it's like Heavy Rain in that, you know, you can do some things, but you might miss this path, you know?
Yeah, right.
Well, I went down one path, and I straight up possessed a dude that shotgunned 2 guys in the face and then blew off his own head.
Oh my god, what?
This game is way harder than I thought it... Like, not like difficulty, but like, it's darker than I ever thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
I was like, man, I'm getting really sold on this game.
For 2013, the graphics look really good.
They do! There are some shots in this game that I was like, wow. Like, literally just sat there and could only stare at it and just be like, wow.
This thing holds up.
It's pretty amazing. I think you guys should give it a try at some point.
Yeah.
So anyway, I read an article the other day.
Uh-huh.
Well, not so much an article, but it was like a bunch of different things that people took to Twitter to make fun of millennials about.
Okay.
I find myself in a weird position. I don't consider myself a millennial.
Really?
No, I don't.
Why?
Because that's not what I was until they redefined the date range not too long ago.
When did they redefine it?
We were Generation X when we were growing up.
I don't think
We
so.
were totally Gen X. And then they were like, well, it's actually more this, and like they always kind of like move the dates as things go around, and they kind of find a more definitive point to like section them off.
Yeah.
Growing up, you know, I clearly remember a joke on The Simpsons where he was talking to Lisa about what's it like to be a Gen Xer where you don't have feelings about anything, and she just goes, meh.
Okay.
And that was when I was a young kid, so how am I not in the same ball field as that, you know?
Yeah.
And then I remember reading, because I went through a whole deep dive on it a couple years ago, that they did move the dates, and people that were Gen X are now considered millennials, and it's throwing people all out of whack on what to define themselves as.
That's weird.
Because a lot of people don't like to be called millennials for,
That's
you know,
because fucking
whatever reason.
Boomers be like, millennials are killing everything. Millennials suck. We hate millennials. They're killing Earth.
I define myself, there was like a group of people going, you know what, we are going to make our own generational part, and we are Generation Oregon Trail. Because there's a clear spot between Gen X and millennials where Generation Oregon Trail remembers no cell phones, no internet, VHS, like all this old stuff, and then millennials is really like the takeoff of like the internet and all the stuff they know now.
Yeah.
But there's a clear group that remembers that transition point that was alive before the transition, you know?
Okay.
That's us. You're definitely part of that too, I think.
People
Because
that
you
played
remember
Oregon
getting
Trail?
on like AIM and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like you were there at the birth of what the millennial whole thing starts from, you know?
Yeah, so we were like the first generation to grow up online.
Yeah. But anyway, so I was going through this article, and it's like, Dear Millennials, we have a lot of questions about stuff.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of stuff. And I was like, well, I'm going to read it and see what it is. So it's really like, probably boomers, as you say,
Yeah.
going like, why do you do this? Like, why is this a thing that you do, right?
Okay.
And I was like, well, how many of these do I do? Because I'm not a millennial in my mind, but if I answer a lot of these like I am, how can I refute it?
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to go through them with you and see how much of this pertained to you.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay. Now, there's one of them I think we're going to have a little bit of a fight about.
Uh-oh.
Because it's something that Haley knows bothers me to no end.
Okay.
Okay, so number one on this says, hey, why do millennials do literally anything and then go, oh my god, I'm such a Hufflepuff? Do you do this?
No, I mean,
Do you have a strong affinity towards your house preference?
I will say that if somebody called me a Hufflepuff or a Gryffindor, I'd be upset about it. But,
Really?
I mean, I don't know, like, I think a lot of kids from our generation, you know, grew up with Harry Potter, reading Harry Potter, loving Harry
Yeah.
Potter. Not J.K. Rowling, I might add, but, so, of course, all of us kind of identified with the house when we read the books or when we watched the movies, or if you got super into it, you went on to Pottermore and you got your own sorting situation happen.
Yeah.
So, yes, I have been sorted several times because I like to take the quiz over and over to see if I change
yeah.
at all.
But it's, for a lot of people, it is like a defining trait. It's like, oh, I'm like, here's my zodiac sign, here's
Yes.
my house. You know?
Yes, exactly.
Like it's like a true core thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, see, mine's not a core thing, but I will fight you if you say I'm not Gryffindor.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a fucking Gryffindor, man.
I think I just
Back
get mad
up.
when people think my tattoo relates to Gryffindor because it's a lion tattoo and because it's
Yeah.
like the German lion, but it's whatever. Everyone's like, "Oh, Gryffindor." I'm like, "No, fuck, no, stop."
Yeah, I know. We just found out on a couple of shows ago that you're Slytherin.
I am a Slytherin.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I don't care.
That's very Slytherin of you. So then number 2, it says, why do millennials put ha-ha after every text?
I do this.
Now, here's where the problem comes in.
Okay.
This is the one that I thought we might have a fight on.
Uh-oh.
Are you a ha-ha or an LOL person?
I prefer the haha. Sometimes I just LOL if I'm feeling lazy.
Okay. I cannot stand LOL.
Really? That's like a problem with you?
It burns me alive inside.
Now I'm gonna have to say it just to bug ya.
Like, Haley has had a sign up at work that said LOL with like a cross in it. Like, never say this to him because I hate it so much. I'm a big haha person.
Why does it bug you so much?
I just don't like it. It's so dumb. Like, just laugh. Don't laugh out loud at me, you weirdo. Just haha, laugh. It's fine.
I don't like the
hang on.
LMAO. Oh yeah, let's crack
Making me
these
all
things
mad.
open. I'm fucking
Making me all
thirsty over
mad.
here. Man. No, I have to like go back through our text and be like, did I ever say LOL to this man?
I think you have, but it's not often anymore.
Yeah, it's not a frequent button of mine. I don't know. I mean, it's good shorthand, but I like to convey the amount of laughter I am experiencing via a number of ha's. If it's a good laugh, I'll say a bahaha, but
see, this is like after every text, and I do know people that it's like, hey, can you pick up bread from the store? Lol. Why? Why does everything end with that, you know?
Yeah.
That's something I've never grasped. Like, I don't end, you know, oh, I broke my ankle today, haha. Like, I'm not going to do that, you know?
I kind of do.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's a good way to end things. It's like the same way that fucking Gen Xers or Boomers will put ... at the end of everything. That's just fucking ominous. And like, why do you just like leave us on a cliffhanger? Like,
I hate that when people like start it with that, where it's like, hey, ...
And then there's just like an anxiety building in me when I see
you did
dots.
good on that report today.
Thanks.
Well,
you could
it
have
sounds
led
like
with
I
that.
didn't.
I know.
You know? Yeah. Hang on. I am going to open up an Excel,
Okay.
and I'm going to keep some tabulations here of how many things you do and that I do. Want to know if you're much more millennial than me.
Okay.
I have a feeling you're going to be.
Probably. I like to use
Yeah.
haha because sometimes I'll say stuff that sounds real fucking grim and
Like,
serious.
kind of mean, maybe?
Or just like, I'll be like, man, really hate today. Might go cry in my pillow later. Haha. Like, I'm not gonna cry in my pillow, but I might.
Well,
I'll
I
do
mean,
it with some humor.
you probably are, but it's like,
Probably
I'm
will.
not like, it's not the end of the world for me.
Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
gotcha.
cry about it, but don't worry about me.
Okay. Then it says, why do millennials have like 700 followers and act like they're influencers on their story? Go do your taxes or something.
Okay.
I don't know many people that just act like they're influencers just because they have a couple people that follow them. I don't think that's that prevalent.
I think
Do you
that
think it
there's like a wannabe influencer culture that I am not involved with. But
Like, I'm wondering if that's it. Do we just not know these people?
that's what I'm thinking, because there's people that, you know, they'll be like, got Starbucks today, and they'll do there's a thing that people do in their stories where they hold their Starbucks cup in such a way that you can see the Starbucks logo, and their
Yeah.
hand doesn't look comfortable when they're doing it. It's in like this pose.
Oh, to like really show it? Yeah.
Yes, like an influencer hand pose, and I'm like, what are you? Just hold your cup. You're gonna drop it. You're gonna drop your
Yeah.
frappe. You're gonna have to be sad about it.
Okay. So you're not doing that one.
I'm
Good.
not doing that one. I only
How
have
about-
like 20 followers anyway.
I know. I'm like, I guess I'm just not at that level to be like, oh, everyone loves me. Like, no. Why do millennials and older people say stuff like, blank wins the internet for today?
Yeah, that I think I don't do that. I think that can be traced back to like early aughts Reddit. That was like
Okay.
a big thing there. Like, you win the internet, good sir.
I mean, I've seen it on TikTok pretty frequently, like in some of the comments.
Really?
Yeah, people still say it pretty regular.
TikTok is like Gen Z kids. Like they're not still out there saying this wins the internet, I hope. That's so
But it says, why do millennials and older people, and we all know that TikTok has a pretty heavy older crowd following.
do they?
That's like a big joke on TikTok, how people like 30 and up downloaded it to make fun of the kids that use it today, but now we love it and we're all over it all the time. And
Okay.
I watch TikTok for like 8 hours a day minimum.
Is it like the way that our parents invaded Facebook and took it over?
I think so, kind
Man,
of, yeah.
That kind of sucks. Sorry, TikTok.
Yeah, we just like took over TikTok.
It's ours now.
I don't know if I've ever said that one. Like, this wins the internet. I know
hate
that I've been
phrase.
like, that's the greatest thing I've seen today.
Yeah.
Or like, this one can't be topped. This is the best one. But I don't know that I've said wins the internet for today.
You win the internet. I tip my fedora to you, milady.
How about this one? It says, why do millennials get married or have a baby and be like, we did a thing?
Okay, I do that one.
I do say did a thing.
I can trace this back to a specific thing, I believe. So,
Okay.
do you remember the weblog with the title of, what is it? Hyperbole and a Half. Hyperbole
That
and a
kind of sounds
half.
familiar.
I'm going to send you a picture and you're going to be like, ah, that.
Okay.
It's like this little JPEG-y drawing that is a girl. She's like a rectangle and she has a little yellow triangle for hair.
Clean all the things?
Yeah, all the things.
Okay.
Chick.
Okay, now that shit I do consistently.
Yes. So she had like a blog post that was like, do all the things. And it was about getting over depression and like going through a manic episode where you just have those times where you're like, I have done everything on my list today. I did the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has carried over into our nomenclature. Like, I did a thing, you know? Like, congratulations to me. I have accomplished a task that I set out for myself.
You know, there is a website that does this stuff for you. So, like, you gave us on the stream, doesthedogdie.com or whatever. Do you ever go to knowyourmeme.com?
Oh, I love Know Your Meme.
Dude, Know Your Meme is the best. So
It
let's
is.
see. We did a thing. Just to see if it has anything about it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they have a different...
And it really doesn't.
Really? I don't know if that'd be considered, like, a meme, you know? Because it's just part
It's
of
just like a
millennial
phrase, yeah.
linguistics. But I think
We
it's
did a thing.
another... It's so versatile. Like, you can say, I did a thing, and be like, I bought a house, or I, graduated law school, or I did a thing could also be like, oops, I got drunk and
Like, I
got
fucked
Karl
up.
Marx's face tattooed on my butt.
Yeah.
Like, whoops-a-daisy. There's a broad range of things that can be covered in I did a thing.
So basically, it's like the Gen Zs, well, I guess millennials, because that's what we're saying that it's from. It's the millennial clean version of shit.
The
Because
millennial-
shit can be good and bad. We did a thing can be good and bad, but minus the cuss word.
Yeah.
Okay, so they just kind of cleaned it up for people. Okay. I mean, I do say it sometimes.
Yeah.
But I definitely prefer just the good old shit. I did shit. That's nice.
Got shit done.
So, yeah. Alright, so we both do that one. Okay. Why do millennials start their tweets with sigh, ... Like,
nobody's doing
who
that.
told y'all that that was cool?
Who's
Okay.
doing that?
I'll text sigh to people, like sigh, or like la sigh.
If they made a sigh
know?
emoji, perhaps we could use that. But there is no good sigh emoji. There's the one that's like blowing air out of his nose. That's not a sigh.
That's like the only one that I can think of, yeah.
That's like an angry emoji. There used to be one on...
Yeah, you need one where it's just like anime does it so good. It's like the little air thing with the round top.
Exactly.
And it just like comes out just,
Yes.
like, you know what that means, you know?
Yeah, they used to have an emoji for it on the Google phone, I believe. And now that I've switched back to Samsung, I no longer have access to this emoji.
Sad. And it's probably one of the boxes you've sent me a million times.
Probably.
So, like, I say sigh, and I do use the ... But I do it when I'm, like, building up for dramatic effect. I don't do it all the time, only if, like, I'm trying to put an intentional pause right there. Not just like, hey, ... I had a good day.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reason for that pause. That wouldn't work. But if it's like, hey, ... Just see that spirit opened up again? It's like, oh! Because I didn't think it would. Like, then it's kind of for a reason.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like because I do both, maybe not at the same time, I'm going to have to take a yes on this one.
Okay.
But you're a hard no.
I'm a hard no.
Okay. Okay, this one. Why do millennials love couch areas at restaurants so much?
I don't know what this means.
What restaurant has a fucking couch area?
Yeah,
What's that? Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know what that is.
I'm glad you're as confused as I am. I feel like if I saw couches at a restaurant, I would avoid them. I mean, even prior to the pandemic, I don't want to be sitting on a cloth area in a place where many people have been in.
Yeah.
And also there's food and drinks around. Like, nobody wants communal cloth. That's not my jam.
I have been to a movie theater where instead of, like, the stadium seatings and stuff, it was full of, like, love seats, couches, and recliners and stuff.
What?
Like, I've been to something like that, and I wonder if that was geared more towards these couch area crowd people.
I would feel uncomfortable in that.
But, like, you're getting to sit on, like, a nice couch.
But there's, like, spillage risk, and you can't disinfect fabric. If it's leather, sure.
I'm trying to think if you could actually take drinks and stuff in there, because I don't think we did.
Because if you
think
spill
it was like,
on a couch like that, and then somebody else comes in and sits on it behind you, and that it just wet couch surprise, like, I don't want that.
Oh, God. Okay, this one I have seen a billion times. It says, why do millennials love writing social media bios like this? Dog mom, wine lover, Christ follower.
I
like,
know.
You know,
that is
just
such a thing.
One sentence, or like 1 word to 2 word period little remarks, you know?
Do you have a social media bio?
No, and I guess that's part of it. Like, I don't ever know what to say, so I'm usually just like... Really, the one that I have on the most, it just says, so many games, so little time.
That's cute.
Because I'm trying to play so many games, and there's never time, and I want everyone to know that's what I'm busy doing.
That's Robert's jam. I've had the same Twitter bio since I got a Twitter, and it says, I'm often hilarious, I'm often stressed, and I'm often making art. Sometimes I am all 3 at once.
See, that's like a good joke, you know?
Isn't
like,
it
that's
good?
nice. That's good. But
And
not
then...
like, just, here's things about me, like, I have a dog. Wine, drink. Much drunk, you know?
I think the more, like, I don't know, the better version of this, in my opinion, is to use emojis for it. So, like, my Instagram bio it's just 5 emojis. So it's a cat with hard eyes, it's mountains, it's a cake, and then a microphone and a green heart. And I think that just kind of sums it up.
I really never know what to write in them, so most of the time, I don't do it.
Yeah. Just pick 5 good emojis that you think describe you as a person.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Here's my Instagram bio. You ready?
Yes.
I'm gonna read it for you now. I co-host a podcast! Exclamation point. That's it. That is all it says.
I put that in mine too, actually.
I know, and that's where I got it from, was yours. I just copied. I wasn't original in that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay, here is my... Yeah, see? my Twitter one's so stupid. It says, Super Metroid is the best.
That's your bio?
That's my fucking bio. It just says, Super Metroid is the best. Co-host of, you must be thinking of another podcast, Yimtope for short. But let me lead with, Super Metroid's the jam. Yeah, that's my fucking bio.
I love that. That says all that needs to be said about you, though.
Is that all? See, I wrote my truth. Okay, I wrote my truth. Oh, see, I didn't even know what they were. Who knows what I was thinking when I wrote these things? Oh my god, I'm crying a little bit. That was funny.
Oh, some good shit.
So yeah. So that's some no's for us. We definitely don't do those. Why do millennials have such an obsession with coffee? And they'd be like, haha, hashtag adulting.
God, I hate the word adulting so much. I'll use it ironically on occasion, be like, have to file my taxes, gonna do some adulting, but I mean,
I have said it, but it's not a commonplace. Because we all know that I have the grown-up versus adult thing.
Yeah.
Like, I already have a thing for it. I don't need to come up with new words, you know?
Yeah. I do love coffee, though. Gotta say.
I was gonna say, you do love coffee, but you don't... Because the premise of this one is... Because it goes on to say more like... I must ask you a question, but first, gotta have my morning cup of coffee. Like,
God.
you're not constantly tweeting about the fact that you have coffee or need coffee.
Yeah.
You just enjoy coffee on your own time.
Yeah.
You know?
Should I put a coffee in my bio over Twitter?
I really think you should.
Maybe I should. I'll put it in my Instagram one. That's where all the emojis are.
Why do millennials make Instagram pages for their dogs?
Someone told me that I should make one for my cats, and I was like, why would I do that? My own Instagram is already dedicated to my cats.
I know. I've actually been told to make one for Toast.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to make a separate Instagram. Like, I've got this one and I have the podcast one. That's all I need. Personal and podcast.
I'm like, okay, but see, you're even active. Here we go. Also, back to my Instagram. My last post was in August.
Christ, dude. 2 months ago?
If I'm not taking my own pictures, why am I going to post pictures for Toast? He don't give a shit.
I post almost daily.
Yes, you do. Like, most people do.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I guess I just don't have anything that people want to see a picture of. But I'm not a big picture taker, too.
Yeah,
at the same
you
time.
don't take a lot of photos. I'm constantly like, kitty, 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 paparazzi.
Okay, this was a big one. Why do millennials post pictures and announce they might delete later? I feel like this is just a trend for right now.
I think that's a meme also.
I've never
delete.
seen it that big, but you did send me a picture of the very lovely David Cummings
Yes.
in a pool, and he said might delete later, so I have seen it out there to not just millennials.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I think it can be a joke.
I think
Sometimes.
so. For the most part, people use it as a joke. Okay, so I'm looking on Know Your Meme right now. Feeling cute, might delete later is a selfie trend. So it was the hashtag Feeling Cute challenge.
Okay.
In March 2019. In this challenge, participants would share humorous photos paired with variations of the phrase "feeling cute, might delete later."
So it's really just like a little bit of a carryover from that.
Yeah. Wow, this
Okay.
is an old meme too. Good God. 2017 is the origin? What?
Like, I feel like I remember those things where you would just put, like, the most embarrassing photo you had of yourself.
Yeah.
And most people wouldn't want that to stay up there. So it's like, yeah, I might delete that later because I
Right.
don't want it. And then right here we have, why do millennials and old folks use ... for no reason?
Yes,
Like-
that's not a millennial thing. That's a Gen X and older thing.
It's like, you text them and they go, hey ... Like, damn, am I bothering you?
I hate that.
Yeah, I don't use it in response back to somebody. Like, if somebody said, hey, I wouldn't be like, hey ...
Right.
Because that sounds scary.
Yeah.
That's like some murderer stuff right there.
I know.
Yeah, no.
May as well just
Yeah.
put 3 knife emojis.
Yeah, we ain't doing that one.
No.
I thought this one was funny. Why do millennials love putting human person in their bios? Like, what are you trying to prove?
I am human. I mean, that's a phrase that I have used to refer to
mean-
myself, that I'm a human person.
It's funny, but I don't think but it's not in like your bio to say, hey, I'm a human person.
I think it's a part
Do you know
of
who
like,
would use that?
who?
Invader Zim fans.
That's true, yeah. I think it's a part also of like dissociative humor, you know? Like sometimes you
Yeah.
just gotta be like, still human.
Like, sometimes, yeah, as a joke for that, but I don't think it'd be my bio.
Yeah.
I'm just
I've
gonna say-
definitely seen it as a bio, but I wouldn't use it in mine.
A 30-year-old game is the best game of all time. Like, sure, why not? Everyone's dying to know what game is the best, and it's in my bio.
Oh, that kills me.
Why do millennials always refer to their pets as fur babies?
Because they are my fur babies.
That's 2 big ol' yeses, because I definitely do that too.
I don't have human babies. These are my children, and they have fur. Sorry.
I mean,
Not sorry.
I think we also come from a generation that views animals in a much more, like, human aspect.
Yeah, for real.
Like, I've talked to people, like, older people, and they're like, well, I mean, it's just a dog.
Yeah, it's like, I got a dog. I guess it's
Like-
cool.
Like, a lot of people see it as, like, an animal. It's like, beneath you and all that shit.
Yeah.
And
Don't
Taylor
allow
will
him on
come
the
home
couch.
to find me like laying on the cat or like laying on the floor with Jinx with my nose on hers, going like, "Oh, you're so pretty. You just love everything, don't you?" I'm all about that damn dog.
I know. I feel like if you don't treat your animals as though they are your kin, your children, then you shouldn't have them.
Kind of like why else are they there? Are
Yeah.
they just a showpiece?
Just
What's the point?
To have an animal in your home, like you don't allow them on the couch, you don't give them table scraps. Like, don't you love your animal? Don't you love
Like,
your fur
first
baby?
of all, I have to love Jinx because she sheds so bad,
Fuck,
and I
dude.
get so mad at her.
So
I have
much.
to love her, or else she'd be out of here.
My carpet is 90% cat hair at any given moment.
Okay, why do millennials get so offended when you say that Friends is not funny?
Because Friends is funny.
Because it's fucking hilarious, and it was the greatest show ever.
Well, okay, dial it back a little bit. Not the greatest show ever. It is one of the top 5 of all time. Yes.
It is a pretty great show.
It is a fantastic show, and I think it holds up.
I do think it holds up. Like, I've seen some of it again lately, and I'm like, man, it still just, like, sucks you in somehow.
Yeah, it's still funny. The characters are still relatable. Like, I think that as far as TV shows about friendship go, I can relate most to Friends.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, How I Met Your Mother was good. They had a nice friendship, but I didn't...
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's so many different shows about 20-somethings that are friends that I don't identify with the people in the show. You know?
Okay, that's something I've talked to Taylor about lately. If you watch shows from the 90s and shows from, like, now,
Uh-huh.
shows in the 90s always had somebody that was pretty much like your middle class type person.
Yeah, just kind of like
They
a
were-
sort of broke everyman.
Yeah, they were struggling or working for something, but when you watch a show now, everybody's like pretty well off and good. They never worry about shit.
I know,
Like,
they
they're
had
good.
like a high-rise apartment in New York, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, even in How I Met Your Mother, Barney was like unfathomably rich.
Yeah, he was
you
like
know?
the fall guy for a big corporation or something.
Ted's an architect.
Yeah.
You know,
Successful people.
like everybody's got really good jobs
Yeah.
at like 20,
And in
You know?
Friends, like,
which doesn't make sense.
Phoebe is kind of a busker with her guitar.
Yeah, she's-
Rachel is chronically
a
unemployed.
waitress.
Yeah, waitressing.
Joey is a down and out actor that can almost never get a job.
And their apartments are so realistic. Like, just the empty-ass apartment with the 2 leather recliners and that horrible dog art. Like, I
Yeah.
love it. That's essentially how I lived for the first few years in college, so...
Basically, we're offended because you're saying that you don't like real things. You don't like
Yes.
real people. Friends was like real people.
It's real,
You
man.
know? And that's what I don't like about new shows, because I can't relate to anybody in almost any show that's out today.
Yeah.
It's not made for me. And even when you watch, like, the CW shows where it's mostly, like, high school kid stuff, it's always super rich kids.
Yes.
Super rich high schools and stuff. And it's like, you know what? That's not me. So I can't get behind it.
Right.
So I think that was 2 big yeses. We're kind of, like, falling in sync right here. Why do millennials insist on saying shooketh?
Oh, I hate that word. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not big on that one.
I'm shooketh to my core.
Okay, it's 2020. Why do millennials still get upset over vertical videos? Because they're fucking ugly. Okay? I am sorry, but you should know that if you turned your phone, it would fill up a TV if I watched it there or anywhere else. Vertical videos are awful.
But you, like,
They're
live
the
on
fucking
TikTok.
worst. And it's fine for that,
Yeah.
but just a vertical video?
Yeah.
That's horrendous. I don't like it. Like, if I'm gonna watch something on YouTube, you better have it horizontal
Oh, God,
so
yeah.
I can see what you're doing.
For most platforms, though, they've figured out ways to make shit full screen when the person is holding the phone wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So, technology's come a long way, but at the same time, yeah, I still much prefer a horizontal video. Just,
I mean, ask Taylor. She'll be taking pictures of Jinx or something, and I'm like, hey, turn your phone. She's like, why? And I'm like, well, you're gonna send it to me, and I want to look at it full screen, so you better turn it. And she hates that I do that. This is the one that I thought was gonna get you.
okay.
It says, why do millennials like Bitmoji so much?
I love Bitmoji. Don't you love
That's
Bitmoji?
a yes. See, I don't really use it too much, so I can't say that I love it.
I loved it for a long time because
Yes,
I
you
was
did.
like fully into Snapchat. But when I got my new phone, I didn't bother to reinstall Snapchat on it because I was like, I don't use it that often. I'm going to see if I miss it. And I haven't missed
Yeah.
it. So I
mean-
have no further use for my Bitmoji because that's the only place I ever used it. So
Yeah, I pretty much never sent stuff to people, so
I love
I mean, I
Bitmoji.
have it.
It's so cute. It's so easy to change your little avatar's hairstyle. It was like Gaia Online without the work.
See? Yeah, see, and you were all over that too.
God, I love Gaia. I miss Gaia.
Why do millennials get so offended when a kid likes the sequel to a Disney movie better than the original?
Because the original was better, and that's that. Sorry.
I mean, most times, yeah.
I
I mean, really, I didn't see many of the sequels because I was like, why bother?
yeah. Why bother? I've already seen the first one, and it's perfect. So why do I need a second one?
I'm gonna throw that down with 2 yeses, but I guarantee you're all over the Lion King too, though.
I was just gonna say the Lion King 2 is
Yep.
very, very good, but the first one's better.
Why do millennials like avocados so much? I just don't get it.
Who doesn't like avocados? Do you not like an avocado?
I do like avocados, but it's
Okay.
not like my go-to thing.
I love avocados. They're so
But-
good.
I mean, they are good.
They're good
But
for
I'm not
you.
having like avocado toast in the mornings and stuff, you know?
I've tried avocado toast. I mean, it's okay. I mean, if
Yeah.
you put more stuff on the toast than just avocado, it's better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like avocados. They're a nice healthy fat.
This one was big for me. It's why do millennials speak in GIFs?
Oh man, yeah, I do that.
Man, I have like a whole folder dedicated to GIFs that I've saved for certain things, you know?
They're applicable,
Yeah.
and it's nice to have them when you need them. So at our office, we have this program called Microsoft Teams,
Yeah.
and they have like GIF integration, so you can search for a specific word, and it'll be like, here are 10,000 GIFs that might go with that. And I'm like, this is the best thing ever.
Yes, please. Bloop.
So my team just like talks in GIFs. Like we were
That's
on a conference
awesome.
call the other day, and it was like with the higher ups, and they were talking about needing to like pivot to a new thing. And of course, what do I go to? But the GIF of Ross yelling "pivot" in the hallway
Yeah.
with the couch. Back to Friends.
I'm gonna skip a couple of them, but I have 2 more for you.
Okay.
Why do millennials act like answering emails is so hard?
Because it is. I hate it. I got an email earlier today that I have to respond to, and I'm not gonna. I think I'm just gonna delete it.
I don't know why, but for real, I don't know.
I hate it.
Well, I think I don't like doing it because nobody cares what your response is. Like, people email stuff almost only to have, like, that paper trail. They don't really care what you write back in it.
Yeah.
It's, hey, I sent one, I tried. You know? But they
Yeah.
don't care what they ask you to do or what your response was to it. They're still going to do whatever they were going to do. So, I don't like to answer them because I don't feel like they matter. You know?
That's true. That's very true.
That's why it's hard. I can't want to do it when it won't matter.
Do you want to hear about a holiday that I think you're going to really like?
Sure.
It's a fake holiday.
Okay.
It's made up by a podcast, one of my favorite podcasts, called a Reply All. And the holiday is called Email Debt Forgiveness Day.
Okay.
And it falls on, let's see, I forget what day of the year it is. It's October 31st. Hell yeah. So
Oh.
what you do is every email that you have like built up in your inbox that you have needed to send a response, but you're like too anxious to send it, or you just kind of forgot, and it's like just sitting there freaking you out on October 31st, you can just send that email and then link to this disclaimer from Reply All and be like, it's Email Debt Forgiveness Day. It doesn't matter. This is like 2 years late. I'm
Oh my
responding to
God.
your email.
That's kind of hilarious.
It's wonderful. I think the world needs it.
It's like a weird version of The Purge.
The inbox purge.
I just like this one. It says, why do millennials think they're special for knowing what a VHS tape is? Like, I've never met someone who doesn't.
I feel like I've met
Frankly,
people.
I think it's special because I do know people that don't.
Yeah. Like
And it was a hard thing to live through, okay?
You guys don't know. We had to, like, rewind it sometimes with your hands because your VCR would fuck up and eat it.
Dude, I had a friend, they had a special machine that we would watch a movie, and he just took it out. And I was like, what are you doing? We gotta rewind it. And he goes, no, we're gonna start the other movie. He put the other movie in, and had a separate device that just rewound the tapes so you could progress watching a movie faster. And I was like, well, that's the greatest thing of all time.
What?
Just a rewinder. That's all its purpose was in life. And I was like, this is fantastic. Now we can watch movies at an unprecedented rate.
That's wonderful, but also I hate it.
I know. Because VHSs were like a thing, man.
Yeah, they really were. They were
cool.
They were cool. Something about a VHS is just nice. It's a physical, big movie that you held in your hands, and they looked cool. They have an aesthetic about them.
My favorite is when you would go to rewind it. First of all, it was a time to reflect on the movie that you just watched.
Yeah, and you get to, like, watch everything happen in reverse.
Well, no, because you would stop it and then hit rewind, and it rewound by itself. It didn't show it.
It didn't?
Did you always rewind it slowly, Kelsey?
I mean, sometimes if I really liked the movie and I wanted to watch it in reverse again.
But 5 times as fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just like the sound of it going.
Yeah, I love that sound.
It was a nice sound to, like, decompress the emotions you just went through with, right?
Yeah.
And it was always fun to try to guess when it was going to stop. It's like, okay, it was about a 2-hour movie. It's been rewinding for 1 full minute. It's going to stop now. But it's still rewinding. You're like, damn it.
Did your VCR ever give you, like, an indication that it was almost done rewinding?
My grandpa had one way later that was smart enough for that, yeah.
Ours was not smart. It was just, like, a little bit broken. So it would sound like it was, like, rewinding it successfully, and then it would be like...
Oh, almost done.
Ka-chunk, and then it would be done.
I love that. Just like, pow!
Yes.
How did it not snap the tape in there?
I don't know. I love those tapes, though. Just, like, thinking about pushing one in, it's just so tactile and satisfactory, you know?
So, I don't know. Because VHSs were a thing that some people won't ever know about, and we're proud to know about it. That's why.
I agree.
And there's tons of people that don't know what VHSs are. What are you talking about?
Right. Talk to anybody who's, like, 10 or younger, and they're like, what's that?
Well, I think we did pretty good. I think we may have actually come out even.
Really? What's our final scores?
I had 10. 1 less than you.
Yeah, see? You're a millennial. Embrace it. It's not evil.
I mean, I don't think it's evil, but you changed what I was. I'm having, like, an identity crisis, okay?
Well, you're welcome.
But I do go with Eliza Schlesinger.
Yes, an elder millennial.
Very famed Dallas
stand-up comedian.
Yeah, the elder millennial. That's definitely me then.
Yeah, sure.
If I have to be in the category, that's the title that I take.
If you guys haven't watched her elder millennial special on Netflix, you should do that. It's very funny. Are you ready to rewind this podcast?
Yes, I am.
Ka-chunk.
Hey guys, please tell your friends about us. Help us grow this audience. Don't forget to subscribe to us on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. We release weekly every gosh darn Monday. We're always gonna do it. We love to be the first thing you hear Monday morning to help you get through all the crap you gotta do the rest of the week. We're here to lighten that load for you. And if we have ever lightened your load, made you feel better, made you smile, think about something you never have before, and you like that, make sure you go out to Apple Podcasts, give us a nice rate and review. That would really help us out so much so that we can reach more people and help those Mondays be better for everybody.
Yes. And while you're out there on the internet doing those things, you can find us and friend us on social media. We are at YMBTOAP on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We're invading that TikTok because we're elder millennials.
That's right.
It's ours now. Be sure to like and follow our Facebook page and subscribe to our channels on YouTube and Twitch. We are doing so much on Twitch in October. It is craziness. It's wonderful. It's fun. Okay, so last week we did Doki Doki Literature Club, which was very exciting. Robert's first playthrough on it. It was so much fun.
I know.
Next Saturday, we are going to be playing Mansions of Madness. It's a board game. We're going to be playing it on Steam via Tabletop Simulator.
Now, that one we'll be doing a bit later, right?
Yes, we are, because we are inviting our dearest friend Ferdin and his boy Jose. They're both listeners of the show and friends of the podcast. We will be starting that one about 11 p.m., so it's a little bit of a late night. We hope you'll stick around, get some coffee in you, and enjoy the game with us.
I feel like we're going to get a lot of the, like, insomniac people that are like, there's nothing else. What is this?
Nothing else to do but look at Cthulhu.
Oh, that sounds spooky.
It is going to be spooky. I'm very excited. So we also want you to email us at ymbtoap@gmail.com. It stands for You Must Be Thinking of Another Podcast. Don't forget that. We want your listener mail. Send us what you define as your generation. Are you a millennial? Are you a Gen X? Gen Z? Are you a boomer? Why are you listening to this podcast if you're a boomer? How did you get this number?
If you are a millennial, do you feel like you are like looked down upon simply because of the fact that you are a millennial, or do you proudly embrace it?
Yeah.
Like, where do you stand?
Let us know where you fall in this millennial list that we just went through. We'll link it in the show notes.
And don't forget that our theme song is The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn by Faraj. Please check him out on YouTube and all the amazing stuff that he does. I seriously don't know how he can mix such random things together and create the coolest music. Love what he does. And as always, thanks for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. ... What's that mean?
But we had one more important sound we wanted you to hear.
Anything that you don't want but you don't think you should throw out, it just goes in the garage, and you're like, I'll use this one day. And then when you clean out the garage, you're like, what is all this? Why do I own it?
I don't want it.
I don't want it. I never did.